Because you have a winner case in 8.5 FM. It's your only station.
Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Assad is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come. I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
We have made several efforts as a plenary to have that office open. We're sending 5 communications, different communications on different occasions, commencing as far back as late last year to no avail. And in some of those communications, the last communication, he responded to it. And he said, if I can recall, at the bottom of said communication, he said that it was his last time talking on said matter. So thereafter, last Friday, we were to conduct this exercise, but the leadership advised that since you're coming to the country, we allow you to come over the weekend and have his things removed. Up to yesterday, Monday, even went to work and declared our action as a coup. And they asked him as to whether, how long will he continue to fight, and still fight for what? Everything has been taken, the speakership has been taken, and he still insisted that he could not turn the office over in that interview. And he said it was the last time talking to it.
They came to me and said, Mr. Speaker, we need a letter to go to Guinea. Why you need a letter to go to Guinea? Oh, we want to establish a relationship to Guinea, Guinea need friends, and they will give us some money. Is that the case? Yes. Come to the chief clerk. Chief clerk, go draft the letter to send this delegation to Guinea. She drafted and brought it to me. And then I realized this is beyond my powers and jurisdiction as Speaker. The president of Liberia conducts foreign policy. Why would a Speaker be dispatching the head of the military junta in Guinea, a group of lawmakers, to go have discussion? For what? I told them I would not do it. Although I committed myself to doing an audit, this is the reason why when the first time I saw this outturn was when the budget was submitted to us. It is not true that any member as was exerted last Sunday came to me to discuss issue of outturn. And I will show you the hypocrisy in a minute. When I saw this, I called my staff. They gave me the evidence of this money movement. And I will produce screenshots and documents to that effect at my trial of how money was moved. So I said, no, I don't want to implicate anyone. But what I will do, we must do the audit. So now they have even extended it to 2022. So we'll be asking the GAC, instead of just 2023 audit, to 2022 and 2023 to see what happened here. To change that behalf, and it's discouraging. Can you imagine friends and colleagues that I wine and dine with because they have been convinced that the system they desisted, the system that they don't want to be part of, they must be a part of it in order to get money. Signed a resolution without the courtesy to look in my face and say, Speaker, this is what you did. I left from this country to go on a pilgrimage. You go behind my back and you sign a resolution and you run into the chambers to pass it quickly before I came. Do you think that is fair? Do you think another speaker will come and sit in this chair and want to change this place? Who wants to be disgraced?
I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country and people are now seeing it as being right because the Assad is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region. and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honour, peace, and the defence of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Solo what Corsia, you've come on from your comfort zone, New Georgia Estate, you said. Aliyu Kruman, you're following from New Georgia Estate 2. Juju One Way, you've come on, my dear Southeastern sister Dwighty. Good to have you on from Minnesota, the United States of America. It's bad off. I did send you that video. It's not good at all in Liberia. I hope that you are faring well from your end, Dwighty. Nina Kuya, you've come on. Good to have you on. Tina Cooper, you've come on from Denver, Colorado, the United States of America. Tobasi, good to have you on. Clarence Dwyer, you've come on. Asata Miller, you are following from where you are. Okay. I will run through your comments later. Moses Lake from Magibi County, good afternoon. Ahmed Jalanzo, good afternoon. Hope that you are faring well. Mario Kruma, you've come on from Campley, Nima County. Jackson Poning of Iron Factory, Block 13 Intellectual Center. You guys are following with Chairman Rico, or Kenny Boy, as he's affectionately called. Thank you all for coming on. Reverend Samuel Mason, or Pastor Samuel Mason, you come on from Broadville, around your church. Good to have you on the show this afternoon. Gabriel Mann, you are also following on the holiday with your family. Thank you for listening and watching at the same time. Say hi to your wife on my behalf, please. Thank you so much, all of you. The names are just pouring, and it's too hard to call all. Alexander M. Dolly from the United States, Josh Dakwan, Abubakar Sharif, Navarros M. From Toronto, Canada. Okay. The names just get stop, just flowing down. Yeah, Elizabeth, Tujla. Okay, yeah, you've come on from your end. Okay, William Carr, good to have you on from Ominga. My dear John brother, Stephen Coker, good to have you on. Hope that you are faring well, and thank you so very much. I appreciate it. I was calling you back, but apparently you were busy. Charlie Jackson from the United States of America, and on we could go, and we'll be here all day. Thank you all for appreciating the show, as evident by your presence. You are so massive, so extraordinary, so great. Without you, we can, but at the same time, without us, the info can reach you. So it's complementary effort. Thank you all. We've got the issues. Today is holiday in Liberia, but it's not a good holiday, a bad holiday, a holiday that goes down in history again, and a bad omen for Liberia under Joseph Yeman Boakai. It is evidently clear, and thank God Almighty that nothing happened to the speaker. He is keeping his security intact. He's back in the country. The coup to get him off so that Richie Kun gets in, it is working. They've done everything they could with the support of President Joseph Yeman Boakai and his executive officials. Now it has reached the point that they finally burst into his office. They plan to do it on today. Can you imagine a sovereign government, a government that claims They know so much. They are highly educated men and women. Did not have men and women. This morning, I watched a video from Eugene Fagon reacting to A.B. Williams when he raised some issues about them. And thank God Almighty, I just said to myself, it's good that the director of LBS will refuse to listen to his own radio station, but will turn to A.B. Williams to listen. So that means we in the opposition community, we make so much sense to the extent that they avoid listening to their own radio stations because the radio stations just put up flattery. So if he can leave his radio to take up time to listen to A.B. show, and not only did he listen, but he caught a clip. To cut a clip from a show means you must have listened or watched. So he did a reactive post and inserted that identical portion that A.B. will characterize the government from what he coined. He said, how Eugene Fagon called it? He said, cheering government. And how you call the Unity Party government? But he said CDC government or children government. Ironically, it was the same children government that he was in. You see, Liberia don't have politicians. So the government of Nebuchadnezzar, the coup work, nothing about coup is positive, it's good. Coup is evil, and it originates from the devil. The first person who initiated coup, nurtured coup, executed coup, Satan. That's why he was thrown out. The father of coup, any deadly, diabolical act from the devil. God described the devil as the father of coup, the father of lies. In John 8:44, he said, you are the children of your father, the devil, who understands nothing but lies, who concord nothing but evil. Look in John chapter 8, verse 44, you'll see. It is based on that God will insert Jeremiah 17:9, when he referred to the mind. That mind God was referring to, listen, let me give you a little theological perspective. It's not the mind. That was not a general statement. It was the mind of the devil that he was referring to. How devilish, because he is the father of evil. I'm laying the basis. So he said in Jeremiah 17:9, the heart of man is desperately evil. Who can discern it thereof? It's not the heart of people created. He said the heart of man. What man was he referring to? The devil. What the devil uses, the people, and how he does it by inserting his evil act into them. So he said the heart of man is desperately evil. Who can discern it thereof except the Lord? Who created all of us? God. Who created the devil? God. In Genesis chapter 3, verse 1, he said it. He said it, the most subtle beast creator of all beasts by God. So, anybody who institutes a coup, who organizes a coup, who concord, who connive against truth, against justice, against the rule of law, is the daughter or son of the devil. They have, these people, sons and daughters of the devil, will initiate a coup to get rid of Speaker Kofa. From the very beginning, I said it. I told you over and over, Boakai has never ever liked Speaker Kofa. 1. 2, Boakai had never ever been comfortable with Speaker Kofa. 3, Boakai resolved at all costs, even if it takes 3, 4, 5 years, Speaker Kofa would get out. He cooperated. He instituted a coup. He set his surrogates into place. They executed the plan. They stay executed. Now they've reached the point. Today, they went into the office of the speaker. They burst it open. Today, national holiday. not a working day in Liberia, except for the occasion constitutionally called Armed Forces Day celebration. The entire country focus was on the Armed Forces Day, and that is what all the people in this country, including foreigners, know. The guys decided in their meetings, in their traditional concocted self, disclosing nothing, that the holiday, we will go into the speaker office and burst it open and take out what needed or needs to be taken out, and then he can do anything he wishes to do. But Richard Kuhn needs this office. We have to give the office to Richard Kuhn. So they burst into the speaker office today. They ransacked the place. They took everything they felt they needed to have taken. They sealed up the place. Can I show you people? Can I show you people some of the video or some of the pictures, rather? They burst it open. They had this thing, a hammer. And there's another thing the carpenters can use. It's just like a hook or a long. You can, sometimes they use it to take the nail of those long nails. They had that. They burst the door open. Every room constituting the speaker office. They burst it open. They put the documents outside. And then it was time. But before I get to that video, see what happened before we get to Representative Colette. You see, let me show you. You see, they burst the door. They used a hammer and something they call pin, something like hard iron. They burst it open because it was locked. You see again, there's another one. From room to room, I think the speaker's suite constitute either 4 or 5 or 6 rooms or so. I may not be exact, but it constitutes several rooms. They went into it real good. You see, they took along carpenters and other people who they just burst it open. And after that, they were justified. Let me give you some images. They will justify the reason for that. We'll come to that. But they burst the speaker office open. They took what they wanted to take from there. And then you want to get a little understanding. Yeah, God. LIB. The guys are desperation on display. They went into it. They had some people, they called them sheriff, carpenter, and other people. You see it. They will take everything. Standing there is Representative James Colette. James Colette was the one who supervised everything here. You see them taking the decks off. They took a lot. And though they met lock, they will burst it open. They will call the person who has you can see the guy there ready. You see him there getting ready to burst the door open. Every room they went into it with James Colette standing there and few media people. You see the guy there bursting it open. Everywhere, every room, they burst it open. You see the guy? You see? LIB, this is Boaka. This is the government headed by Boaka, who said the government on Awia was lawless. This is the government who said that the rule of law was never ever being respected. This is the same government who said that vandalism was the order of the day on Awia. This is the same government that said Awia was interfering with the legislature, that was interfering with the judiciary. This is the same government that said that everything lawless was Unity Party, was CDC rather, everything. Today, they are doing the same thing and they expect nobody to say anything about it. So they burst in the speaker's office today for Richard Cohn to enter. That's what happened today. Just when the guys, they planned it. Can you imagine? They planned the coup. They planned it. Why the guys were focusing, the whole world was focusing on the Armed Forces Day, which we will get to. The guys went, honor the command of Representative James Colette, went to the place, opened it. Can you imagine? So you see, the guy's timing was, if we wait after the holiday, it will be on Thursday. And we might have resistance if we attempt to burst the office on Thursday. Thursday wouldn't be a holiday. Moreover, we might likely, some of our colleagues might oppose us as they did first, not to tread that path. So what we need to do, why every one of them will be focusing on the Armed Forces Day, we can come and then execute this plan. Remember now, I am about to play you Representative Colette's voice. He said there are seven constituted by plenary, but only 2 of them show up. Why the rest of the 7 did not show up? They know the reason, but only 2 show up according to him. So they went into the speaker office, they ransacked it, they took what they wanted to have taken, except for the chairs. The chairs, the desks, Representative James Colette said are government property. So that one, no need to take them. They left them there. But every other thing, they put them outside. They said, according to him, they will carry out a renovation. As far as they are aware, Fonati Kofa is not the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Here is Representative James Colette, who is leading the ransacking, who is obsessed with power, who thinks that everything they are doing, they are in the right. He is standing in the Speaker's office to give this news conference to the journalists or explanation. Here is his justification.
We have made several efforts as a plenary to have that office open. We're sending 5 communications, different communications on different occasions, commencing as far back as late last year to no avail. And in some of those communications, the last communication, he responded to it. And he said, if I can recall, at the bottom of said communication, he said that it was his last time talking on said matter. So thereafter, last Friday, we were to conduct this exercise, but the leadership advised that since you're coming to the country, we allow him to come over the weekend and have his things removed. Up to yesterday, Monday, even went to work and declare our action as a coup. And they asked him as to whether, how long will he continue to fight? And say, fight for what? Everything has been taken, the speakership has been taken, and he still insisted that he could not turn the office over in that interview. And he said it was the last time talking on it. And we need to have this office prepared for use by the speaker. As you are aware, it's a statutory office. It enables the speaker to have his staff, press director, COS, WCOS, resource officer, with general coordinator, and the list goes on. So there are a couple of staff that need to be in there. We also need that office to enable him to have a comfortable space in interacting with guests to be able to discuss the interests of Liberia, inclusive of the conference room. So it's against that backdrop that plenary took an action to enable this committee rule order. We are 2 here, but we are now 2. This is a committee of certain persons to carry on this exercise today. He has been removed. I don't know when you saw him performing the responsibility of discharging the function of a speaker of recent. Since November, December of last year, up to present, he has not discharged the responsibility of function of a speaker. There is a man who is removed, and not only removed, but he's replaced. And not only replaced, he doesn't come to work. Speaker Emeritus has not come to work for more than 24 section days. And I will want to inform the public about Rule 20.1 and 20.2 of the House's standing rules. It says that a member who fails to come to work more than 2 weeks without an excuse of plenary, said member has committed an offense that is punishable. So I just want the public to also understand that not only Speaker Emeritus, but other police who feel that they want to stay home, not to come to work, but every month go to the bank and take their salary, I think it's unjust with Liberian people. So I want to use this meeting to give them a wake-up call that they can put Liberian press director, COS, WCOS, resource officer, general coordinator, and the list goes on. So there are a couple of staff that need to be in there. We also need that office to enable him to have a comfortable space in interacting with guests to be able to discuss the interests of Liberia, inclusive of the conference room. So it's against that backdraft that plenary took an action to enable this committee rule order. We are 2 here, but we are now 2. This is a committee of 7 persons to carry on this exercise today. He has been removed. I don't know when you saw him performing the responsibility of discharging the function of a speaker of recent. Since November, December of last year, up to present, he has not discharged the responsibility of function of a speaker. There is a man who is removed, and not only removed, but he's replaced. And not only replaced, he doesn't come to work. Speaker Emeritus has not come to work for more than 24 section days. And I will want to inform the public about Rule 20.1 and 20.2 of the House's standing rules. It says that a member who fails to come to work more than 2 weeks without an excuse of plenary, said member has committed an offense that is punishable. So I just want the public to also understand that not only Speaker Emeritus, but other police who feel that they want to stay home, not to come to work, but every month go to the bank and take their salary, I think it's unjust with Liberian people. So I want to use this meeting to give them a wake-up call that they can put Liberia first and find reason to come to work. If you say you don't want to come to work, it's not prudent enough to help us not to take a salary. But you can't be taking salary, you don't justify, you don't deserve it, you don't work for it. Who are you then? Then you call yourself rule of law caucus? You are the first violator of the rule of law.
So 5, according to him, 5 letters were sent to the speaker, Councillor Fonati Kofa. Let's take it as truth. Usually in Liberia, for those of you who are out, in Liberia, documents are shared with the media, documents are leaked out. Most of what if you get on Facebook or social media, you will see this one flying, this other person will come with breaking news. That's how. Moreover, government officials in Liberia, they will sneak out information to their close associates or the media people they close to or who they trust. They are interested in sending out those communications. If this is true, that they send out 5 communications or 5 letters to the speaker, wouldn't it have made sense to just put one of those 5 letters out? Wouldn't it have made sense had James Collette come before the media and say, this is one of the letters? In that interview he had with the media, he displayed some ID cards of some of the staff of Speaker Kofa's office. He was so excited to display those cards. I will show you that portion. But he wasn't energetic enough or sound enough to bring one of those communications. Why they didn't leak any one of those? If they truly wrote the speaker, you leak out those communications. Those are not communications of a coup to overthrow the government. No. So you want to share it with the public. Let the public spread it too, just as they have been doing with communications. Even today, before I came on the air, I saw one communications out. They gladly share it. So if you got, or if you gave the speaker 5 letters, it's all about fair, man. Give people the benefit of the doubt. Give the public the benefit of the doubt. Raise the public suspicion by just displaying 2 of those letters. Even one will have sufficed. Simple as that. That's what you do. But Colette, I am not convinced Representative Colette is telling the truth that he served the speaker, or they served the speaker, or wrote the speaker 5 different letters. They communicated with the justice minister. That they communicated, telling the justice minister they communicated with Speaker Kofa to turn over the office. And the justice minister did tell them that you write him official communication. If they claim they wrote the speaker official communication, why would the justice minister tell them you write him officially? And in the letter, give him 5 days ultimatum. If he refuses, then you can move in to take over the office. If you spoke with Fonati Kofadan, he wouldn't tell you that he received 5 different communications of 5 communications with the same content on different occasions for turning over the office. He wouldn't. They lie. They lie. Everything is a coup. But the coup has a curse. The coup has a curse. Nothing happens and goes with impunity. Thank God they said that in this country, when I'm talking and imagining the statements from Bouaka in the past year and his people, I'm wishing for nothing. This is a country. We went through war. We saw what happened here. God did not allow me to leave this country. The 14 years that this country went through such a painful war, I was here. I saw it. So I know why war is not necessary. I saw it. We travel from one end to another. We walk amongst and in dead bodies. We saw soldiers shooting people in from us. We saw soldiers opening human beings. Living story, I'm telling you. If God were to send Angel Gabriel, he would tell you what Sam saying is true. God never allowed me to leave from here. I saw it. We saw things in this country. And this is why I'm saying this to make you to know that let us not think of anything like that. But it doesn't say that God himself cannot inflict. We've seen it with countries. Before then, we see it in the Bible. You can go through 10, 15 years of war, and you can have 10 million years peace. And once the injustices and malice and all kinds of stuff happening, God himself can punish. God did not punish Egypt with those plagues at the same time. All of them were at different intervals, different time. One plague, they had enough time of rest, of peace. But they were still going back. And then the other one came. It was not those 13 plagues that you see in the Bible, which is referred to, or which are referred to as God's judgment. They did not happen. The first one happened on Monday, the second on Tuesday, the third on Wednesday, the fourth on Thursday. No. It was one at a time with a long period of interval, because that's how God operates. He wants and gives you ample time to stop what you are doing. If you can, he extends the ample time. And if you continue then where he comes in. If you read the Bible, whenever you're reading and you hear of the word compassion, that's what it means. He gives ample time so that you come out, so that you stop doing what you are doing. But if you think that it is your own will, you are in your own kingdom, that's when we have to be careful in this country. Power is good, but when power is used wrongly, it leads to something else. That what led us into 14 years of civil war. The same thing. The same thing. We saw it. History told us. Individuals who were in that time, most of them stay alive. They know that's how Liberia entered into a war. Ellen was uncomfortable with how power was being used, how they were being marginalized. They were ostracized. Charles Taylor, the same. Prince Johnson. So all of them came together based on the same thing, one thing called power. When Samuel Doe was in charge and felt that he was the lone leader and that everybody should bow to him as Nebuchadnezzar, trampling on people's right. What happened? At the end of the day, the guns were sounding. I'm not saying that we're going back to war. No one wants that. That's why I told you that God never allowed me to live here. Martin Luther King said, one of the reasons that God has allowed me to live in this period is to see what is unfolding in history. And I can say that of myself. One of the reasons that God allowed me to live throughout the 14 years war in this country, to see what unfolded then and to guide our country going forward. By telling people of how this country went into war. These are the same things happening. We have to be careful. Power is sweet, but power can also degenerate into war. That the same power Samuel Doe and the other people were using, that it degenerated into war. Right now also we are in war, but not gun war, not military war. We are in a war of grudge, a war of hate, a war of malice, a war of economic degradation and stagnation. We are in a war of division. We are in a war of one-party state. We have to be careful. We have to be careful. That will take me into the rule of law caucus position on the bursting of the Speaker's office. That will in no way, what they are doing, it will in no way legitimize Richard Coon. Unity Party people will call Richard Coon Speaker. Unity, the pro-government station and the government station will call Richard Coon Speaker. The other side of the political divide will not call Richard Coon Speaker. If I were Richard Coon, I've said this, and I'm still telling him not to embarrass himself because he has made himself a Mickey Mouse. You're in a place, one side calling you speaker, the other side can call you speaker. That is not a popular support. That is not a popular election. That kangaroo thing, I hope that they can go back and do it better. Fonati Kofi just want everything to be done legally. The man told you that he's not in, if you follow the due process, he's off. Fonati Kofi don't need that place to exist. Richard Coon needs it to exist. Richard Coon has gone down in history as in a very bad way. Coon is not at the level of Fonati Kofi. Coon that Peking, that baby to Fonati Kofi. That was small boy, when small boy now exposed, that was going to be so itchy. Fonati need that to exist. That Richard Coon needs it to exist. So much so that he in the midst of people, he doesn't feel that aura of a speaker. You can tell from the man's countenance. They calling him speaker, but his conscience not clear. And that's what life is. That's how God fits the human being. The thing they call conscience is the human being. Once you are not that person, no matter how they try flattering you, you will show it. You will show the sign of uncomfortability. Let me get to the rule of law statement, then we get to the I told you yesterday. Then we get to that. But here's the rule of law caucus. The rule of law caucus reaction to that. Let me share it with you, and then we open the line, and then we go to something else. Today is national holiday, or holiday in Liberia, but bad holiday. Not good holiday, bad holiday. Thank you ever so much. My dear Matilda Stevens, thank you ever so much for coming on. See you on for days. You said we're going to talk, but I stopped seeing you for days. Hope that's good to have you on. Okay, here is it. Here is it. Yes, this is it. Musa Hassan Bility, the rule of law caucus. Today, while Liberians are celebrating Armed Forces Day and welcoming the head of state of Sierra Leone, Representative James Collet, leading a group of individuals, has unlawfully stormed the Capitol, vandalized the Speaker's office, and desecrated it, all in an attempt to evict him without any court order or legal authority. At this critical time, we call on the President of Liberia to immediately address the reckless actions of these individuals. Their behavior poses a direct threat to the security and stability of our country. These actions are dangerous. They undermine the rule of law, and they create a potential crisis that could spiral out of control. We also call on the Minister of Justice to hold these individuals accountable. Their reckless conduct suggests that they may have received assurances that they can act with impunity. However, there is no precedent in the history of our democracy for such lawlessness, and it must not be tolerated. The Rule of Law Caucus strongly condemns this act of vandalism and calls on all Liberians to join us in rejecting such behavior. We urge the President, the Cabinet, the international community, the Religious Council, the Council of Churches, the Muslim Council, and all the stakeholders to intervene and demand an immediate end to this act of lawlessness. Finally, we wish to inform Mr. James Collet that we will take legal action against him. He will face the full weight of the law for this violent, unlawful, and uncivilized action. The rule of law must prevail. This is the statement from the Rule of Law Caucus. Why it is true that they are right, I do share their opinion, and we thank the Rule of Law Caucus for exhibiting truly the standard of law, everything that embodies the rule of law. They are within that perimeter. That is good. But sadly, nothing going to come of this. Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing will come of this. The only thing we are grateful for, and we thank God Almighty, Speaker Kofa did not engage into any violent conduct along his colleagues, with his colleagues. Speaker Kofa remained within the perimeter of the law. We thank God Almighty too that the rescue mission, the prowl itself, has been law-abiding, upholding the rule of law, will engage into gangsterism. Thank God Almighty it's happening this way because they've gone down in history. Thank God Almighty they will have absolutely nothing to say against the opposition or any other person. Thank God Almighty that none of their supporters in ministerial positions now can look at the opposition and say, you did this, you did it. Already, there is this news out of 3 EPS officers who died. Today, the cause of death is unknown. The information that is out, JFK said they do not have the cause of death. They could not determine the cause of death. Thank God Almighty, these things are happening. In CDC government, when something like this came out, they were all over the place. The only thing, let us not degenerate anything into a potential crisis or a violent crisis. But for me, I will even want more of these to happen. Oh, yes. The only thing, we shouldn't fight. Let us just intellectualize. They make the news, we capitalize on it, and we flush them out just as they capitalize on CDC error, and they are in today. They capitalize on every reported death, corruption, every other thing. That's what they were using as their weapons all over the place. So I told somebody off air that I even want more than this to happen, because you know why? It would damage them and get them out. So what is happening, what they're doing with the speaker is okay. The only thing the speaker, they should not harm the speaker. They should not harm any member or members of the rule of law caucus. But let them do as many of this as they can all over the place. Thank God Almighty, the international community is taking note. In the fullness of time, they will release their position on Liberia. Just sit down, Unity Party, with your Nebuchadnezzar and ask to teachers. You will know how long. If you are depending on America, may I tell you that America is no respecter of a person. America is no respecter of a president. America is no respecter of a country. America is sovereign, independent, just as any other country. So if you think America will back you or international community will back you, that is a blatant lie. If anybody who have gotten all of the support, and even though she got very many, but she misused them, who was loved by America was Ellen. But it was the same America that looked into Ellen's face and told her that we would not put our money into any rogue regime hand. They refer to her government as rogue regime. So this is the position of the Legislative Caucus and what unfolded today. Let me add this, then open the line and beg you. I'm not going to take long on this because I talked about it yesterday. It wasn't in news. Today, I knew that was going to happen. I said that our president is not in a good bill of health. Everyone knows that. Even the unborn child knows that. The president himself knows that. The president has shown every sign of dementia, every sign of schizophrenia. So it is not a news. That being that way for years. It is not a news, not at all. Mr. President cannot walk far. Mr. President told us when he took over, we should manage our expectation. And we flipped the script back to Mr. President and said, you, not in a good bill of health, we will manage your health. And I started to tell people using the microphone that Mr. President would not have to travel long distance. The people within Mr. President's corridor, they have to time or team his schedule. He wouldn't or shouldn't go long plays. He shouldn't do this. Let him just be internal president. And even as that, in the country, he needs not go to a far area. Because Mr. President is not in a good bill of health. The whole world knows that Mr. President is an embarrassment. Everyone knows. You talk about Liberia now, they say, oh, the president, your president who always following the president. Everybody's skeptical of Mr. President now. Of Tanzania discussing it. When we think that it is only domestic, let Tanzania now is an issue. Mr. President almost fell in Tanzania. The lady had to interrupt and say, Mr. President, sorry, we have to interrupt you because we are running out of time. Mr. President's voice was cracking. Mr. President went to deliver his second State of the Nation address. He didn't know what was unfolding. He almost fell off again. The bodyguard had to come and say, drink water and just speak to shake the people's hand. He was there again. He didn't know what was unfolding. He's looking at his own man, bodyguard, telling him, drink water and just shake the hand, you go. The anthem was not played. The anthem closes the State of the Nation address as it opens the State of the Nation address. Whenever that anthem is playing, everywhere, even the unborn child in her mother's belly will position himself or herself because it draws, it is a magnet. Once that anthem starts to play, everybody everywhere, they cease from what they are doing to listen because they know the leader is about to speak. That's what introduces the leader. The national anthem was played from the onset. Because Mr. President was going off and the bodyguard came and held him and said, drink water and just shake the people's hand, and it ended right there, no anthem. That was an embarrassment. Brave 72nd groundbreaking. They called Mr. President to speak. Mr. President passing by the podium, leaving, going out. The security again had to hold him gradually and carry him to the pulpit to speak. Now, when you see those things happening, what is that? That's dementia. That's schizophrenia. Look up dementia. Look up dementia. The word is spelled D-E-M-E-N-T-I-A. Schizophrenic is spelled S-C-I-Z-O-P-H-R-E-N-I-A. They'll tell you. Just look those two words up. Look up those two words. So it wasn't a surprise. I told you yesterday that that's how it's going to be. And you saw it. Mr. Here you go. Heavenly Father. I told you on the show yesterday that Mr. President was never going to move, to inspect, to do the inspection, whichever way they call it. Because Mr. President cannot work for 10 to 15 minutes. Mr. President has aged, just like all of us are aging. There's no news about that, nothing secret about that. So it was not possible, I said yesterday, that Mr. President was going to do the inspection. And the 2 or 3 presidents we have seen at Armed Forces Day, it took them between 20 to 30 minutes inspecting. It is a little bit long. And Mr. President can move that long. No. We are inspected. Ellen inspected. Mr. President today, rescue president, can inspect. Let me show you. Let me share a few with you. This is Ellen. This is our former president, Ellen, at the Barclay Training Center. She inspecting the troop as the commander-in-chief. Just imagine Ellen. At that time, she was completing her 70s, entering into her 80s. And today, again, the woman was at the Armed Forces Day celebration, walking all by herself energetically. This is former President George Weah inspecting the troop at the Barclay Training Center. Our president opted to go in car, or the people put our president in pickup. This is Joe Walker, the man in pickup. He's inspecting. And let me demystify that jumbo gibberish that you have around here. Listen, come on, man. That's mental problem. It's the same as dementia. You support us. What is so strange about our president health? You know that it is normal. The president is not in a good bill of health. He's not physical. Because of that, they put him in pickup to inspect. It is not within our constitution that the president is driven in a van to inspect. Then you're bringing other countries that the president invent, and all of those countries that you brought. That's the people framework. That's the culture. It is within the law. There are others the president walks. Those photos that you're using to justify, does it make sense? Damn, man. What people say they educated, but it's so dull. Admit that Bwaka is not in a good bill of health. That's why they use that. Then you're bringing other pictures from around the world. The president in car moving the other president. That's the people culture. Or is it that's their law? You didn't frame your constitution that way. Your constitution is framed. That provision say the president move to inspect. He walks or she walks from as per the protocol. They did not say the president get in car. Why you people are so shameless and mentally don't care? Is that something to justify using pictures from all around? And say nothing wrong with it? There's something wrong. Those pictures that you show, they are normal. The hour is abnormal. That's the two different cultures. So those of you who sharing those photos around, using them to justify our president own, something wrong with you. So today he could not. He could not. You think the people around Mr. President, they know that he can make it? You think you know more than the president or more than the people around the president? The people who close to Bwaka, they know that Bwaka is not in a good bill of health. That's why they use the speaker, because they know that Bwaka can walk all over that field. Then you're bringing other. You should feel sorry for yourself. Sorry, no disrespect to you, but I should say it this way. That's been very dull. There are certain things you just admit. What there to justify using other photos of presidents around? That the people constitution. That's a framework. The Korean people, how they do their inspection. I beg you, man. Let me read a few of your comments, and then we can open the line, and then we talk something else, and then we move. All right. All right, Gertrude. Yeah, it's all over. That video is all over, Gertrude. Gertrude Wilson. Yeah. Asata Miller said these people are sick in the head. That's why they are vomiting nonsense from their mouth. Matthew Sampson said, pick up inspection. Please show us the video. Oh, yeah, okay, I have it. I have it. Let me get to that folder. The man in the video, I mean, in the peacock go around. Cizia Bassett say they refuse to accept the fact that Bwaka lacks the energy for the presidency. Let them continue to deceive themselves. Right, you are very right. Matthew Choloplage said we know what brought the war, and it is the same thing this government is doing. I strongly believe. No, 2029, that intellectual war. That intellectual war. The intellectual war. And do you know that Vice President Kuhn and the man predicted Bwaka illness, a mental illness? VP Kuhn, yeah. VP Kuhn predicted President Bwaka mental illness. Let me just share with you quick, then I continue the text messages.
These things could happen. Mr. Bwaka, knowing that by 2023 he'll be tired, knowing that 2023 he'll be tired, he could have a good heart, good everything good, but the brain is going down. Yeah. Before he became vice president, it was
At this time, he said Boaka was using peppers. We did not know that Boaka using pepper, that Jeremiah Kun made us to know. He made us to know that Boaka has a mental problem. But at the same man, y'all let's see go, man.
These things could happen behind the scenes. So I supported Joseph Boaka, knowing that by 2023 he'll be tired. Knowing that 2023 he'll be tired, he could have a good heart, everything good, but the brain is going down. 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 You're not holding the end. You're moving down the hill. This is nature. My father, right now, I buy him pamper. Every day I gotta buy a pamper. There's a man who bought me pamper before. I'm buying pamper now because the time has reached. So I thought the old man could be president in 2017 and run for this. And he said, he said, when you run for one term, he said, I agree with him. 2023, no, I disagree. In my mind, he should rest, find somebody else.
That's why you see, Kun, we'll get to that part. We'll get to that part. They want that the discussion for this week. Kun knows exactly what he's doing. Your Unity Party people, you're opening your eyes. You're opening your eyes. Boy, good for you. Asada Miller, did I read? Okay, I read yours. Mohammed Sharif said the old man has disability issues. And Victoria Addy, Addy or Adi, I hope that I'm pronouncing your last name right, says, those days when the anthem sounds, our mothers will be calling us to come and sit home. Everyone will be glued to their radios. Yes, the anthem is magnetic. My mother's son say 81 years old Boaka is a malevolent dictator. So the action from his criminal cartel is not a surprise. Yema McCall said today is National Pick Up Force Day. Happy Pick Up Day. Yeah, that's true, y'all. That's true, my dear. That's true. Fire J. Bobo D. Say James collecting, he is going to be in power forever. Okay. Paris Slobot, Slobert, says, let Rebel James Colette remember every journey has an end. Think about how late President Tubman stay in power. Tobasi said, in almost everything that went into the planning of the Liberian Civil War, the elements were all lies. Yes. Matilda Stevens said, I blame T5 for all dates. Matilda, why? Why you blame T5? Why you blame Thomas Fowler? Please share that with me. I'm curious to know. Matilda Stevens, why you blame T5? T5 didn't have option. Maduri Chelsea Suarez said, you couldn't have said it better than this. Sam, like you said, it doesn't change the fact that Councillor Fonati Kofa, yeah, still this legitimate speaker. Yeah, he is. He is the legitimate speaker still. Brelila Warren said, well said, my brother, thanks so much. Thank you too. All right. Who else? LIV. Yeah, man. Clady Allison says the justice minister is wrong because the speaker was not removed constitutionally. Yeah, the justice minister is the chief justice now in Boaka government. Aliyu Kurman said the thing James Colette is looking for. All right, you didn't end that well. Gabriel West said, what goes around definitely must come around. Yeah. Okay. Thank you all. So let's get to the line. Then we move to the second and final lap of the show, and then we are on 0772 23 99 33. 0886, and that is also the WhatsApp line for you out of Liberia, +231 as per your code, 886 30 44 97. The women's line, 0777 98 0375. And then we move to something else. We take few calls as quickly as we can. Hello.
Hello.
Cut off your radio. Cut off your radio.
Hello there.
Yeah, fine.
I'm calling from Central West Point.
Let's hear you.
What I am, Babu, I am Monday anytime. The speaker that said everything will be in your favor forever. But time will come, there will be worse more than the other people.
All right.
Because the thing are going in the country now, we can't understand. Already somebody say you're forcing the person to be in your space. And now you want to move. You have to tell the person to stay aside, that other people can't. But they want to wait. They just want to be there to be taking part of money. Thank you for your analysis.
Thank you so much. Have a nice pickup inspection day. Hello? Yeah?
Fanatic Kofa district need to stand up because that district elected Fanatic Kofa to represent them in the House of Representatives. Number two, all the rule of law caucus, they need to go back to their constituents and complain to their citizens that elected them, telling them how the government is proceeding with them. This is why development is not coming in that district, and those citizens need to stand up. Then we, the nearby district citizens, will also join them to protest massively against this government. Thank you all so much.
Hello? Hello? Yes.
Hello?
You are on the air. Call your name and what you've got to say.
Yeah, my name is Sharatu. I do join from Electoral District 1, Grand Bazaar County. And Sen, let me appreciate you for the topic. It's good, you know. I don't know why you behaving the way they are behaving, because this country belongs to all of us. Most of the group who call themselves Majority Bloc. This whole Radio Kun issue, I don't know that just because of the power and the jeopardy. Today you are not even recognized by the president of Sierra Leone again. And they got to jump over that guy and start addressing other people. So it shows that he's just fooling himself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you. What I can say in Liberia, happy, so say happy pick up inspection day. Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yes?
Yeah, I'm Richard P. Masawa.
Let's hear you, Richard.
Yes, but I also thank you for a show. Let me tell you about children in your father. That person will never do nothing cool for the country. They say when you born a child, when a child will live or a child will be good, you notice for it. Number two, let's just come on the point. Children father wants the country for a decades of years. They should have known what adversity means. They should have known what the people need. But the person is just acting man to everything.
All right, Chief.
I just want to thank you for the show and I highly appreciate that.
Thank you. You have your pickup inspection?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Hello. Yeah.
I strongly agree with you that I want for this government to even do more every day. Let them go ahead. The thing is, when they will boss the office and put everything outside, those are all that supporting the law and fanatic will be discouraged. No, we're happy at that. That's why we want happy. Let it be on record that the day everything to remove him, but he did not resign. Let it be on record. That's it. So let him go ahead and do it. But let J. Colette be in the know that he in Liberia. He is declining and spoiling his own political ambition for tomorrow. So let them go on. Speaker inspection, one of them called me. You know, I was telling them, I said, you know how disgraceful it is? And the only thing that making this seem to low ugly is that you guys on the other side have refused to accept that Blacker have health complication. You are also refused to understand that Blacker is old. So when we say let us agree to manage our president, you guys say no, he can still do it the way George, we have to do it. He can still do it the way Ellen could do it. And this is where we are. So you guys have validated our argument today that Bwaka is not well, that Bwaka is not capable. You're not able to stand for law to perform anything.
Thank you so much. Hello.
Hello, sir. Tim.
Yeah.
Happy pick up day today.
What I say, I seem to you.
Yeah. This is happy when you're calling for the PhD community.
Yeah. Happy pick up inspection.
Yeah.
Inspection.
I really enjoy that pick up day today. But Tim, I just want to elaborate on that James Cole me. You know, the people always give their parable every long road in the bush house and in. So that a friend, they should know what he's doing to a friend today. Every one of them, from the top to the bottom, every one of them know what they're doing to Franticofa today. But I will never make Franticofa to surrender to them. He will not surrender to them. He was not born to surrender to a police when things are not in the proper way. But Franticofa, let him remain new, and still we the majority we call him we call him speaker. He still remain our speaker. We will never classify that Rachel Kume to be speaker. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Hello. Yeah. Yeah. What's up?
Yeah, this is David King, and I joined you from somewhere in Monrovia.
Yeah.
You see, what happened today to our country is a shame and a disgrace for our country. Bwaka, everyone knows that Bwaka is not...
No, hold on. What's the shame and disgrace? You should be excited.
All right.
You should be excited that it happened. Listen, not that it is going against Kofa or we're happy that they take the office from him, but listen, you have to understand the two sectors. So I even want them to do more awful things so that it will think their character bad way, and then
this I'm going to is this. Funati was sitting there, not Funati, Sarah Funati. Kun was sitting there today on the platform. The president of Sierra Leone, the guest speaker, the man addressed everybody as per their position, and he did not address Kun.
Why did the man do that?
That's one. And the man said today, for our military, he said today, the only way you can have the tenet of democracy, the military should stand with the rule of law. The military should stand on the side of the people.
Okay, Chief.
The people should be the one the military should protect. And
my man, forget about that man. Forget about that statement. My man, forget it. The man recognize school. That's the most important thing you said there.
Good afternoon, Mr. Andrew.
Don't analyze that man address. That man, that Bwaka country man. Not because he said I can speak up. The Bwaka country man, Bwaka brought the man on purpose. Hello.
Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Sam Andrew.
Yeah. The news in that man address today, he refused to recognize Rachel Kuhn.
Okay, I'm Peter David Castle. I call from under the street light in Lower Johnsonville. Mr. Sam Andrew, the action by James Cole and those have waited and a lawmaker today, and they clearly validate our argument that they are the one that brings the capital building. Because it is illegal, you as a lawmaker, to carry on illegal vandalism, to invade somebody's premises will have a court warrant. James Cole and those lawmakers that were standing there shamelessly. You see, that's I see why the country continue to drive on the gap of poverty and destitution.
Right,
the leaders that are in power, mentally they are poor. You don't know nothing. You can't do that in any kind of civilized and educated society. So James Cole, you should be ashamed of yourself, you and your guys that did that particular.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, Sir Andrew.
Yeah, you are on the air, Chief. Talk.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. This I think Newton calling on District 17.
I see you.
Yeah, thank you. The so-called rescue government has validated our argument that Joe Bwaka is not able. He is incapacitated. So, as a Nigerian, we should not just wait
2029 to remove the old man, we need to impeach this particular man because the constitution calls for it that he is incapacitated. We understand that even cool, he is not fit, right? But just by he got energy, we need to impeach the old man so our government, our country can move forward. When I was 2029, we can remove them.
All of those things are genuine reasons for beginning to
impeachment.
You are right.
Our constitution did not call for our president to wrap pick up to inspect our armed forces.
He's incapacitated.
So it is clear that this particular old man is incapacitated. So we need to impeach him.
Thank you.
Liberia should come together and impeach the country. Liberia is like a country who fought for 50 years.
Thank you, Chief. Hello.
Andrew.
Yes.
Happy because expression day.
They seem to you.
in the past, we have commander in chief, but today what we are seeing is commander in pickup board. but let me tell you, Mr. Commander in pickup board, this day was being one of the good days for reconciliation. You are going around deceptively claiming that you want to reconcile, but today your action, the day that we all should have a sober reflection on our men and women arm. You took this day to send an agent called Jean Colette to go and carry on lawless act. So you just miss it big time. We know we allow you because leaving you and going to the next auction, which means to impeach you and get the next auction, will be like jumping from the frying pan to the fire because it will just get made that mistake to make or president abroad. It will be like jumping from the frying pan going to the fire.
All right.
So it will not happen. We allow you, God be with you in your area team, but you will pay for all your illegal actions, you and your children. Thank you.
Hello.
Andrew?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm Pastor Emmanuel Cooper. I call for balance precisely, but sorry that we don't have enough time to speak our mind, but it is completely ironic and very dangerous precedent that have been set by this criminal government, which is very corrupt. You know, when you look at an elderly statement, he in a country like I used to work or threatening to help. Liberians don't learn and they don't unlearn. Most especially the guys who are about 50 years old. They're very disgruntled. The law is the law. Why will you go and buckle right? Look at the man. I don't know James Cole. I don't know what kind of representative he is or what kind of education. I don't know if he got your lawyer. Adopt his credential because his action does not correspond to his degree. That negative thought, evil thought, and even here I'm on Spain. He speaks backwardly, he speaks of an old era man. These are the people that lead the country into hell. Because if we had a devastated war, bloody war, people that look at Kigali. The Kigali is being built now. That's why I say backward, gentlemen. So for me, we need to rise up. This is unconstitutional. Even look at the EPS people that died. You cannot give cause of death as a medical institution. Something went wrong. So if the people in the army, the people in the police, the civil society, the religious leader, they cannot rise up, not for destruction again.
Pastor, the rule of law caucus said that they call on the religious community to speak out, given the severity of the situation. Yeah.
To say that this religious leader in this generation, not a days of Marco Patala friendship. These people, they are very
but you are one now. You are a man of God. You are a pastor.
That's the reason why I'm speaking in my capacity authoritatively, because we know the origin of the war. Even the people in the war, the Evan Joseph selling the Amos, all these guys, they led a back war. So we can't get nothing because they are full of greed, envy, and jealousy. If you run a country in that kind of manner, the Bible says the battle horse against itself cannot stand. So Liberia is so divided, selfishly, repeatedly, because these politicians, people are very corrupt.
Okay,
so if
Chief.
you can stand up as spiritual people, we'll get the country into hell.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you so much. The president's spiritual advisor is around. I think she was at the program today. Bishop Gelly Brown. Yeah, so it's up to them. Okay. Thank you, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
Mr. Sir Andrew.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your show. Mr. Sir Andrew, you see, but with that introduction of our Samuel, I enjoy your discussion for Omega Market, the legacy of former President Weah. You see, in this country, when somebody feel that you're too smart, so that you put yourself into predicament, into serious problems, that's why James Collier has done today. You see, when our day is coming, we always say about proclamation. President declared the day as a non-working day. All public offices will be closed. Then why a government official has to go to board public offices that have been declared by proclamation that should be closed? Why happen so? You know what? Listen to the president proclamation that today is a holiday. All public offices must be closed. But the God did respect to the president proclamation, Mr. Sir Andrew. God did respect to Joseph Boakai.
My man.
He has seen that.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you. Okay. All of you did well. Thank you all for spicing up the first lap of the show. Let's have this break, and then we move to something of vital importance that has begun to affect Liberia.
So I supported Joseph Parker, knowing that by 2023 he'll be tired. Knowing that 2023 he'll be tired, he could have a good heart, everything good, but the brain is going down. You're not holding the end, you're moving down the hill. This is nature. My father, right now, I buy him paper. Every day I gotta buy a paper. There's a man who bought me paper before. I'm buying paper now because the time has reached. So I thought the old man could be president in 2017 and run for this. And he said, he said, when you run for one term, he said, I agree with him. 2023, no, I disagree. In my mind, he should rest, find somebody else. These things could happen behind the scenes. So I supported Joseph Parker, knowing that by 2023, he'll be tired. Okay. Knowing that 2023, he'll be tired. He could have a good heart, everything good, but the brain is going down. You're not holding the end, you're moving down the hill. This is nature. My father, right now, I buy him paper. Every day I gotta buy a paper. There's a man who bought me paper before. I'm buying paper now because the time has reached. So I thought the old man could be president in 2017 and run for this. And he said, he said, when you run for one term, he said, I agree with him. 2023, no, I disagree. In my mind, he should rest, find somebody else. These things could happen behind the scenes. So I supported Joseph Parker, knowing that by 2023, he'll be tired. Knowing that 2023, he'll be tired. He could have a good heart, everything good, but the brain is going down. You're not holding the end, you're moving down the hill. This is nature. My father, right now, I buy him paper. Every day I gotta buy a paper. There's a man who bought me paper before. I'm buying paper now because the time has reached. These things could happen behind the scenes. So I supported Joseph Parker, knowing that by 2023 he'll be tired. Knowing that 2023 he'll be tired. He could have a good heart, everything good, but the brain is going down. You're not holding the end, you're moving down the hill. This is nature. My father, right now, I buy him paper. Every day I gotta buy a paper. There's a man who bought me paper before. I'm buying paper now because the time has reached. So I thought the old man could be president in 2017 and run for this. And he said, he said, when you run for one term, he said, I agree with him. 2023, no, I disagree. In my mind, he should rest, find somebody else. These things could happen behind the scenes. So I supported Joseph Parker, knowing that by 2023, he'll be tired. Okay. Knowing that 2023, he'll be tired. He could have a good heart, everything good, but the brain is going down. You're not holding the end, you're moving down the hill. This is nature. My father, tired. He could have a good heart, everything good, but the brain is going down. You're not holding everything good, but the brain is going down. 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 You're not holding the end, you're moving down the hill. This is nature. My father, right now, I buy him paper. Every day I gotta buy a paper. There's a man who bought me paper before. I'm buying paper now because the time has reached. So I thought the old man could be president in 2017 and run for this. And he himself said it. He said, when you run for one term, he himself said it. I agree with him. 2023, no, I disagree. In my mind, he should rest, find somebody else. These things could happen behind the scenes. So I supported Joseph Parker, knowing that by 2023, he'll be tired. Knowing that 2023, he'll be tired. He could have a good heart, a good, everything good, but the brain is going down. You're not holding the end, you're moving down the hill. This is nature. My father, right now, I buy him paper. Every day I gotta buy a paper. There's a man who bought me paper before. I'm buying paper now because the time has reached.
You're listening and watching Real Talk on Kings 88.5 with me, Sam Andrews, on this 11th day of February, Armed Forces Day, national holiday, Liberia, that national holiday under the reign of Nebuchadnezzar. We are transmitting from Central Moravia. Thank you for spicing up the first lab. Let's move on to the second and final lab of the show. And then we make way for the news at 6. So the Supreme Court wasn't, the full bench of the Supreme Court wasn't at the State of the Nation address of President Joseph Nebuchadnezzar Boakai, another embarrassment. And it was giving different interpretations or mixed views. They remain tight-lipped. The Chief Justice smartly took advantage of an event in Cairo, a legal event, and the rest of the people, the associate justices, were present. But what many didn't know, and the Chief Justice was in full or had full awareness of that, but the public did not know that it was a decision, a joint decision or a consensus that all of them stay away. That staying away came from, or that decision to stay away emanated from the lack of definitive position by the Chief Justice, who, in my opinion, was afraid because she has limited time in office as Chief Justice. I do not know whether Unity Party will want to retain her, but I assume that they've got nothing like that on the plate to retain her as Chief Justice. Moreover, she will give that ruling or verdict from an insecurity standpoint by leaving it open. After that, the resolution was made because she did not recognize Richard Cohen as the speaker. She did recognize Councillor Fona Tikova as the speaker, but stopped short of being definitive in the ruling or the interpretation. And the burden was on her to interpret, and the law calls for being definitive. That is the reason people go to the law. That is the reason people stand before the judge. That is the reason the judge will do a judicial review or will investigate from a legal standpoint and give a position, who right, who wrong. Not to say you right, you wrong, but it will be spelled out. That is the law. You go to the law, you go to get an answer from the judge. That is why the law has indictment, acquittal, guilt, and on, all of those. That's the reason why the law has it. That's the reason why in the law, you have to be definitive. Nowhere you can leave it open. Even God, who is the chief interpreter of all of the laws of the land, God never leaves anything hanging. God gave a definitive stance, and it's left with the people. But we could understand, and we stay understand because of insecurity. So she left it hanging. Now she took advantage of her meeting in Cairo, which she had every reason to postpone or to send a proxy or representative, but she did not want to sit in a hall where an illegitimate imposed person in Representative Richard Kuhn as the presiding officer. To do that is to say this man, we recognize this man as the speaker. All of them stay away. And then what happened now? After leaving the people in limbo or perpetual silence, they decided to come out. Associate Justice Yamin Kwekwe-Gbese will provide reasons why the Supreme Court didn't attend the State of the Nation address. Have a listen. It may not be as very clear, blur, but I think if you give a keen attention, you will understand him good.
When we the national of news and the addresses, that was the cool way of trying to. When we the national for the president address, they begin move of news and the addresses. That was the cool way of trying to avoid getting involved in potential conflict. You remember the conflict going on at the House, the Supreme Court, when they appeared before us. We made a decision, and the effect of that decision was that, look, our law required that the House should have the quorum, and that quorum should be presided over by a speaker. Now that you, the quote-unquote majority black, have a quorum, but we don't see a speaker there. So whatever you do is ultra-viral. Otherwise, it's illegal. We turn to the minority black, the law says until you can get majority, you get quorum, you must continue to adjourn from day to day and compare the other people to join. But there is no statute that tells you how you compare the people. You don't have a rule that tells you how you compare the people. So you two will remain there until you get majority. Whatever you do is ultra-viral. So on both sides, the Supreme Court clearly saying that go and solve your problem. We don't have law to that effect. We are doing our own. We're not in control of politics. If for some reason the Senate decide to recognize majority black, President recognize majority black, and government function is going on, then we receive an invitation from the Speaker. Our question is, our presence there means that we are recognized one side of the black. So the best thing to do was to remain who we are. That was the rationale. Many people don't understand, but that was the rationale of the court.
All right. So, yes, he thought it was necessary now to give a clarification, to put his response in context. One, they knew, all of them, that due diligence was not done. And the law provides or calls for due diligence. Two, Richard Kuhn was not duly elected. They know and still know that today. Three, they had options available to them to be definitive, but they opted not to. Four, it wasn't, as he said, their responsibility to engage into politics. The issue had shifted from politics to legality. Associate Justice Yami Gwesi could in no way insert that line in his response. They went before the arbiter of justice or the law, the Supreme Court. The function of the Supreme Court, one of the functions of the Supreme Court is to give clarity on anything ambiguous of the law. So it has shifted from politics to legality, and they needed an explanation into the legality of right or wrong. They chose to stay clear of being anything definitive. Fifth, the entire gathering, meaning what unfolded at the House, they were and still aware. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Councillor J. Fonati Kofa, made several applications before the legal interpreter. They reneged. At the time, the executive, which is the political branch, was moving ahead to give legitimacy to Richard Coon. They reneged within that vein. They reneged on giving credence or paying attention to Speaker Kofa applications. But they were aware of the executive move giving legitimacy. Why they have no control, that is a separate branch, but they saw those things and they knew that it was legal. To do that is to legitimize an illegitimate person. So when the Speaker sent in his application, what they needed to do as the interpreters of the law to give him attention. But they delayed. The first thing that came out, they said that they could not handle it. It was a separate branch of government. Lastly, the excuse or the reason given is not anything convincing, not anything justifiable. They plunged, they exacerbated. They did not initiate it. They did not plunge the country into this, but they exacerbated it. The clarification now is of no substance because the Speaker, the government, the executive rather, has moved in now to forcibly take the office from the Speaker. The Rule of Law Caucus, through their spokesperson, Representative Musa Hassan Bility, said that they will make another application with the court. Will this court give them any attention with President Bouaka, executive, accomplishing the mission, taking the office from the Speaker? They needed to have salvaged this situation from the onset. They did not. They exacerbated. The Supreme Court exacerbated. And I should impute this. They were afraid. They were afraid. They, according to the Justice Minister Oswatwe, the president asked him to share his opinion into what the Supreme Court sent out. And according to him, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the majority bloc against the minority bloc. So since the Supreme Court opted not to be definitive, the Justice Minister took advantage of their ineptitude by imputing his understanding. So the Justice Minister gave a political interpretation against a legal interpretation because the Supreme Court refused to have done due diligence by being definitive. So the Justice Minister said, the President asked me to share my opinion. So this is the opinion I'm sharing now. I know that it is the majority bloc treaded the wrong path legally. As a lawyer, I know that. But why do I find myself? I find myself on the side of the president in the executive. So must I stab him in the back? I will put aside any and everything legal and go political in this thing and sound as a lawyer. And the rest of the people will take it as a legal statement because it came from a lawyer. So I will go now and say the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the majority bloc. And that's what the Justice Minister did. That's what the Justice Minister did. He said definitively that the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the majority bloc, recognizing Rachel Kuhn as the speaker against Fonati Kofa as not being the speaker. From there, the guys were energized to start. Then the president now will call him the speaker at his house and say, resign. If you can resign, we'll do this. The intimidation started all over the place. There's no substance in this thing the man explained here. If you ever think that substance in it, Allah Josh Yamin Bese, they just mess up everything. And that woman has limited time there. Unity Party will never ever reward her. I hope that she has resigned to the fact that she's not going to be rewarded. They're not going to put her back as Chief Justice with the limited time she has on her tenure. I think she should reach the conclusion that she needs to find something else. They did it on fear. Fear. The Supreme Court is a toothless bulldog. They exacerbated, they did not initiate, but they needed to have saved the situation. They needed to have saved the country from this embarrassment. Any other thing that is going to happen against Baga government is the same people call Supreme Court. No reason why in our country the executive is the most powerful branch. The executive wields so much imperial power. They decide what they want, how they want it, when they want it. That's what you see. The two branches of our government, useless, don't care, fear. Look at the legislature. Look at how they're using it. Look at how the executive tossing it to and fro. Look at the judiciary. You, Chief Justice, they go to you along with your deputies called associate justices. When the country was so curious, anxiously waiting for the outcome, you beg for time. You say, oh, you left it that next week, which was a week in between. That week passed. The essence of buying time at Supreme Court is to come up with a definitive position. The country understood that. They allow the 1 week. The 1 week expire only to say, you go by. Everything you're doing is unconstitutional. Does that make sense? Where is your rationality? Why did you go to school? And people move into higher institutions to discern and make definitive decision wherever they are And that's the essence of moving into higher education, to raise your intelligence quotient. But they sat them there as lawyers, as people who teach in law school and other areas, to give that kind of elementary position. Now you saw what happened today. That the Supreme Court right there, that action you saw, that the Supreme Court in full effect. So those guys, one day they can wake up and say, but the people now one day, and they're saying they're supposed to say Supreme Court rule in their favor. Because the Chief Justice left it. So what he said, that they decided to leave everything, and you would think that they did not recognize Rachel Kuhn, that's a flimsy excuse Judge Yamin Gbese has given. That should have come before. Had it come from the onset, we will not be in this situation. But again, the president is the most powerful person in Liberia. Unlike other countries, in Liberia, they put me there now. Nah, if I'm the president, you will see how it will be going with me with things. That's how the culture looks. The president is the most powerful. He enjoys so much imperial power because the people who call first branch of government, they lazy, they are gullibles, they are downtrodden, even though they appear to be honorable. Because who the executive can use first? The executive does not start with the judiciary. The executive start to execute a plan from the first branch of government. They are first branch of government, but they don't know who they are. They lost their essence. No government in this country, if that place called first branch of government knew who they are and they can stand the ground, the executive will never ever do what it does at will. And this country will be developed. But nobody plunged this country into underdevelopment, into decadence, than that place called legislature. Because they are afraid to stand in the face of the president. They are afraid. It is the only country that I have known legislators, people in the judiciary and other places, they tell you what the president wants. Well, you can't disrespect the president. The first branch of government ain't no first branch. Look at the people over there. Look at those women. Look at what Colette did. Look at what he's doing. And the other people, they are happy with it. But you have to accept it as the people you're elected. You live with it. That's the people you're elected. Every day God gave you people the opportunity to discern. But you can't. You see that? We have had legislatures in the past with awful things. No legislature in Liberia had been a perfect one. But this is the most dreadful, most elementary, mechanical legislature. Too pathetic, very tiny, stooping so low. If you want to move for takeover, will you have to go that long and all of these things and turn it into vandalism and hooliganism? The president went on the ground when the building caught fire. He referred to people as hooligans. But you see now, you see how God can expose people? God showing the president the real hooligans. That's why it is always said your enemy is right under your feet. Those same people, God will allow it to happen. Those same people that today they're enjoying themselves, Bwaka comfortable with, those same people they'll start worrying Bwaka in this time with impeachment. Those signs that Bwaka showing that God exposing Bwaka so because of the heart. That's why God allowing all those things. You already know how God can work, eh? And you say you're Christians. Me, not bragging, but that Bible, I can't forget about it. When I leave from here, I go home, I inside. When I'm sitting, I have nothing to do during my leisure time, I inside. That Bible is my guide. That's why they say those that know their God. That means if you understand his personality, and to understand his personality is to go there. Tomorrow I will show you the verse that says he uses your very enemy against you to achieve his goal. The same God. That means the way Boaka using the men and they're happy, God can use the same people against Boaka to take him from there. That's the time the person can say, hey, my guys that I trusted are working for me, that I gave them everything that they needed. That's how God can work. The people that you're using, when God gets fair, he can use those same people against you. He don't want to control everything. All right. Then let's go home with 17 million. Let's go home with the 17 million. You don't get fair with Donald Trump. We know that no country is an island, no human being is an island. Everybody needs everybody, but it doesn't stop you from being independent. It doesn't stop you from solidifying yourself. It doesn't stop you from putting contingency in place. It doesn't stop you from being futuristic. Because along the way, you will not have the support coming from people all of the time. What the government is doing now, though they are not doing it right, is belated. Because Liberia is a wasteful, reckless country, and countries around the world, they tire with Liberia. They see Liberia as a thing and not a country to be respected. They prefer to take their money elsewhere. It is not wrong for a person who is providing you to review. Boaka came. Boaka say he's doing that, he's doing that, he's doing that. Yeah, everybody agree. That's how it works. But there will always be a time that new people will come in. So what happened now? These are some of the dialogues that Unity Party people were so excited about making. Most of those mornings, let me tell you, most of those mornings that you hear Boaka talk about, they're not going to come anytime soon. Most of the projects around will be stalled. When you hear Boaka talking, what he is telling you, or the statement that he's making, or the speech that he's delivering, is rhetorical. No leader will go and say, they want a high on all, Tina coming, they want it. No, then you will discourage the people. You will lead the people into different things. Leader always gave hope, even when things aren't working. He finds ways to encourage, to give them the impression that things are on course, they are working, and on and on. But deep down in his heart, he or she knows that it's tough. Most of the addresses you hear Boaka making, saying all of those things, they are all rhetorics. The people are very skeptical now. One of the things the people are skeptical of, that they don't want to be too sure to put the money or to collaborate, is the president's state of health. The whole world knows that. Already he's not popular. Then they sing these things happening. Every time the president creates some kind of content, it goes around the world. He is popular. He is known around the world now for falling. When you have, because the person who gives confidence, though the people say, oh, the environment, it has to be conducive and all that, yes, that's true. But it starts with who? The leader. It starts with the leader. If the people see the leader falling all of the time, if they see signs of dementia or schizophrenia, what do you think they're going to be the position? They'll hold on. They're looking at the president in Tanzania, the voice cracking. It can't come out good. He doesn't know what he's talking. All he knows that he's talking. And then there is interruption to save the atmosphere. Then he's back into his country. Delivering a State of the Nation address, he cut off mentally. They will have to tell him, drink water and shake the people's hand and go. He goes, they call him to speak. He's leaving the podium, going home. When investors see these things happening, all of these signs, they would not venture to come. You can hear the millions or billions of dollars that Bwaka are announcing. They're not dropping suddenly. It's not rapture. It's not going to come anytime soon. Most of the projects around now, they are managing because the future is bleak. But you hear the rhetorics. We're doing more. We're doing more. We're doing this. The government there. The government. All those things are rhetorics. What we never hear from governments in the past. We heard more than that. But what did they do at the end of the day? They were crying for no support and no time. And all of those things, we've heard it. We saw it in Ellen government. We saw it in We Are Government. It's easy to say, but it is not so easy to do. Because you're not an island. You don't have a dime on your own. Little money come in the country, all your officials. Now, what did Joseph Boakai friend, one day friend, the people make fun of Mr. President. The people got to stop. I will meet them and tell them one by one, y'all stop treating our president like this. Every little thing, they put it on Facebook. And you know the president is not sociable. The president is not fashionable. So they try to bring war class alongside him. So they say, oh, you know, they brought out stuff with Elon Musk. They say, oh, the president spoke to Elon Musk. That kind of thing. If I in that camera, I say, no, you don't put the thing. Come on, you leave it. When things come to reality, that's when you can talk about it. What will it do? Yeah. The man who they say, oh, Elon Musk called Bwaka, and they're talking on the phone. They set Bwaka down in car. What did the man say? The man cut off 17 million. 17 million in tax policy advice project. 17 million. The man cut it off. It was intended for Liberia. The man cut it off unconditionally. He cut it off unconditionally. So it's as simple to understand. Very simple to understand. It explains itself. There's nothing ambiguous there. Very simple. He cut the cancel it. You're joking. So, yeah, what he said. Among many other things, dodgy today cancel a 17 million project to provide tax policy advice to Liberia. Why would anyone think that this is a good use of your tax money? It's as simple to understand. It's not ambiguous at all. You know what that means? We're giving you knowledge. We're giving you knowledge. Then we pay you for the knowledge. That's what it means. That wasting resources or wasting money. We are providing you. We are advising you on your tax policy, on other issues relating within that area. Then we should give you 17 million again. Instead, it is Liberia who should be paying the United States for such insightful knowledge. So that tells you how you say you used to send or give out free money here, and people just used to enjoy themselves with it. In 2-3 months, they finish building their house, building another one, because they would just manipulate 17 million. The money was set. That part of the whole operation of the USO. The man asked Elon Musk to help him from an economic perspective to look at some of these things. And it sent us on wasteful spending, different stuff. So part of it now, the board reached a conclusion. There's 70 million here. Where is 70 million going? Why? It's for Liberia to provide, to advise them on tax policy. What tax policy you get? What better thing you get? So the man say, oh, so that how you have been using the American taxpayers' money, sending it to lose Liberia, sending it to the place that they don't have rule of law, that everybody fighting for money here and there and cars. So that's how you're being using, wasting the people money. So the man said, okay, we tell Liberia on a Boaka, there's 17 million here. We canceling it. How can you ask us, we're giving you knowledge, we empowering you, then we will in return pay you 17 million. 17 million, that's small money. Look, no reason why the man said that you say it's filled with lunatics. Not necessarily that are crazy people, but they were giving a crazy amount. Just so advice. Then you're giving Liberia 17 million. The man will beg you, yeah. Will beg you. You get experts in Liberia. You have universities all over. You have doctors. You have people with 2-3 masters. You have some of the best economists in Africa within your country. So they can go ahead with policy, with tax policy advice. Why must we? You're asking us for knowledge. Then we pay you. We must pay you for giving knowledge. That is a simple idea in our Elon Musk stuff. That we're giving you knowledge. We Americans, you asking us, we give you our knowledge. But we must pay you for the knowledge that we're giving you. The man say, you cancel that nonsense, man. Yeah, man. They say, you cancel that nonsense. That's a simple idea behind that thing. They're both giving you knowledge. Then they pay you for the knowledge they're giving you. Then you call yourself sovereign independent country. You think they're supposed to pay? So when they put that 17 million there, then you go buy 90,000 car. The other person buy 80,000 car. The other person into the Mustang, build 2-story building. That's how. That's I can see what the man need to cancel that whole stuff called use it there. We know. Sorry, I'm not really saying that you should cancel it completely because we know what it has done for countries around the world. But if you look at Liberia have been getting free money that they should have done something significant that by now they could stand on their own. But just say every money they jump inside. Not only this government, but governments in the past, then this government too. So Trump right. And you close your mouths here saying you're talking to the man to lift it. You can understand English? The man said temporary suspension, 90 days to review it. Does it mean that he's going to shut it down? Now you see that the people discover as part of their review, they discovered 17 million that was set to come to Liberia if Trump had not come to power. Or let's assume that the Democrat won. This 17 million was set to come to Liberia this year, 2025. And what government was going to receive it? Joe Walker. You see that the people searching as per their investigation about usage operation, they discover not only Liberia, not because there's 170 million came out. There's not only Liberia. Everywhere, the people reviewing all of their programs around. So Liberia now, the people say, we see 17 million here for tax policy advice, There's 17 million. Which organization, which country firstly? Say Liberia. For what? Tax policy, what? The man said, no. It doesn't make sense. You cancel it. You cancel it. He said, he said, you cancel it. I mean, that 17 million ain't coming to Liberia again. They prefer to put it somewhere that they can help alleviate poverty in that country than to give it to Liberia just advice. Now, if you look at that for that 17 million, that 17 million, Liberia can raise it. They have that 17 million yet. And even more than that 17 million, you see it in all of the agencies everywhere, everywhere. If they start to cut down waste, they can have even more than that 17 million. Look what has happened. You get all the money, high money. You get one group, that legislature, they were the people using more money in that executive and the judiciary. The judiciary, you wouldn't know that they're using more money because there's not politics. They're not in the media every day. They're not debating or arguing against it. But so much money goes to that place. Free money they put eating. The Chief Justice, and the Chief Justice, the last time their payroll leaked, the Chief Justice daughter, the woman not working there, but she on payroll. The woman using the country money to open her personal club. And that's how it is looking for most of those representatives, people in the executive, the legislature, and other places. Wasteful spending all over the place. The man canceled 17 million. You 177 years. You got nothing to stand. You stay corrupting your own system. Every government will lie, they're fighting corruption. They're doing well in corruption. But you can see nothing, no difference. The same situation over and over. You get all that money. You went past a budget. Yeah. So they can cut down. You just need to cut down public works. You using 733,312. Look at the other money. You have 330,000. That money is the money using order in our legislature. Yeah, 93,000. 938,895. $19,366. 3,364. 2,283,000. That law make all the money. 149,600. Man. The people are not serious in this country. Oh, yeah. So the Honorable Yaka Kolibai, I'm told, is having a news conference right now. Yes, he said he was going to have a news conference. Let's bring you excerpt from that. I think he's reacting to the president and the armed forces. They
get me for killing to the American embassy. And now you know.
Hey, man. What's this? All right. So let's go to the line. Let's have a few calls on this, and then we are out.
When you call your voter registration card, you got to call the men that killed to come sit outside you so you can tell the war and you get a voter registration card. You piece of fool. This about I wanted for 6 years. You taking me for a joke, got 5 more years to go. You got 5 more years to go. You taking me for a joke. The ball have bounced and you have changed. So, LeBron, when you saw me to the program, Senator Lawrence is my sister-in-law. She pushed me to the wall, made me to do something I don't want to do. After I have father, not to join Unity Party. As I went to Victoria on 2 different occasions, 2 different days. I was there, and Honorable Cummins knew I was going up and down to do that. Before he went to meet Senator Lawrence, your eyes on Honorable Cummins. I went to there and said, we will not join him here. But she decided what to do, and she did what she was going to do. Because I knew the day we were going to reach, where people were going to be saying, I killed people to the American masses. A reckless piece of food because Joseph Parker. A regular piece of food because Joseph Parker are going to be saying, I am the most corrupt lawmaker. Let me ask you one question today. Oh, let me tell your uncle. All the time, our head rising about former president, we are government. Your other reckless piece of food, if he ever came to my house to tell me sorry. Your eyes him. Ola, uno, nephew can suffer, uncle can suffer. He ever came to my house one day to extend apologies to me, to even sympathize with me. He ever came one day, 2011, when I contested and came second. Malaseli said for me on greater fee and told me to pledge my support. They were going to find something for me to do. When I went to Joseph, but you were employing children, you were employing son of marital. And now fool yourself and can't talk about, let me tell you something today. Nobody will bring food in there to me and talk about uncle business. Child, uncle get family living, now I get family living. Nobody will ever see me in the street and bring that bullshit to me.
The representative. The very president. Remember the rule of law caucus member. The bad way. Let's just take a few cards, yeah. There we go. The bad day, sorrowful day, dark day, pitiful day, February 11 in Liberia. Bobby Nash, he said, don't forget generator fee. I bring you all that, all the bar. Thank you, bro. Lose money, man. Eating in Boaga government. Eating. Boaga can make it. Let's just take a few calls and then we go. Oh, Real Madrid and Mercedes today, eh? Yeah, I'll be supporting Real Mercedes. Oh, I can flock the one and call Real Madrid. Hello? Hello? Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, you are on. You are on the air. Chief, you call, you can't say anything. Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Andrew, thank you very much.
Yeah, let's hear you quick. My man, time is of the
My
essence.
name is Abraham, man. Thank you for the show. Yeah, guys, actually be crying around here because I didn't want causing the problem.
My man, not an issue. That's not an issue.
Yeah, okay, thank you for the show and thank you for all your analysis.
Yeah.
So I'm being caught up from Liberia. That one, more than the best friend. They can make 25 billion. They both use 84 billion to run it. We need anything for it. So, Joseph Bakara, Elon Musk friend, they were getting 155 billion to build a consultant. That's only million anything. I just smoke. Okay, may I talk about it? So I can get it to go on the work. So, thank you for the show.
Thank you too. Have a nice holiday. Hello. Hello. Gee, what happened with your phone? I mean, you have to change something. The problem from your phone, not from us. Just few calls. Central, what did Central say today? Okay. Central's position on corruption, Boaga government. Let's get excerpt from the executive director, Anansi Miame.
Liberia is ranked 141 out of 180 countries covered by CPR 2024, compared to 145 over 180 in 2023. For the first time in 7 years, Liberia moved 2 points up the CPR ladder from a score of 25 in 2023 to 27 in 2024. Despite the fact that the latest ranking shows marginal progress in the new administration's anti-corruption efforts, much work still needs to be done as the country has remained one of the biggest global decliners since 2014, dropping by 10 points. The country's performance on the CPR has been hugely disappointing, cementing her position amongst the world's worst decliners. This is corroborated by Cental's 2023 State of Corruption report, which reveals that 90% of Liberians think corruption level is high in the country, with low citizens' confidence in the executive branch of government to tackle the problem. Central is deeply concerned over Liberia's consistent poor performance, especially her place amongst the world's worst decliners. Even though we acknowledge the 2-point increase in the first year of the Baka Kunle administration, we caution against complacency as impunity for corruption still remains high. While President Baka has acted to suspend and dismiss some officials accused of corruption, he has failed to do likewise for others, giving an indication of partiality in his anti-graft efforts. We hold a view that the president's move to declare and publish his assets, incomes, and liabilities is laudable, but his gross failure to punish his non-compliant officials raises questions about his ability to fully match his anti-corruption commitments with these.
You are right. Anasi Miame, Central Hill or head. Yeah, it is selective. Braga picking and choosing. Once Braga don't have strong interest in you, or you are recommended by a lower person, he takes action against you. Those within his camp, he protects them. So what CNN reporting yet? So okay, this one quick. Thank you so much. Trump again on use it. Remember, he like the microphone. All the time the man speak. The man say there is no reason for usage. When you look at the politicians that been there, they have been sucking the blood out of it. When you look at all the fake deals, I mean, look, all you can see by the heading is fake. It's fraudulent. It's probably kickbacks. When they send the money and they get kickback to persons that they send it. Is it 17 million? Man, I cancel it. Yes. Okay, where we go now? There's just a few calls and then we go. Tonight is Real Madrid versus Man City. Real Madrid fans are worrying now. The people will beat y'all. They will beat y'all. I mean, they will beat y'all. All Real Madrid fans, you're scared. Hello? Yeah.
The Baka government will fail with it now. We tire. If Baka does not, that is Bodo Pokumba, they saw it was 600 years. We came 3 days.
Okay, thank you. Hello? Yes. Let's hear you.
Levi here from Chicken Factory.
Let's go, Levi.
Yeah. Thank you. You see, yesterday I told the president that Trump was also coming for him, and that just is starting because the 17 million for them, it will go above that. So Trump not only going for those guys that those Liberians that were deported, but he's coming for his government as well, like his own friend or Elon Musk. Stop it, so. Let us take note. Thank you.
Who told you Donald Trump and Elon Musk are friends? Because you know the party go through that fake thing.
Because the president was on the phone with the world Richard Elon Musk.
That program, man, I think was stage managed to gain public sentiment.
They were fooling themselves. They were fooling the Liberian people.
All right, Chief. Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, your name and where you call from?
My name is Joseph B. Harris. I do join from Makombo Zone, Kima residence, Sawuta, Swamaga District, Bombing County.
Let's hear you from Bombing.
I want to say thank you for a top on discussion, big brother. The issue is glaring. You feel that you have the monopoly over everything, and you feel you have it for the 2-year experience, and you know that what you have at the end of the day. So, what kind of we feel you can lie outside the presidency, but not within the presidency. All right? So the issue of our elected speaker, Jay Fonesi versus Manati Kofa, Richard Ko, they should not tell because the Supreme Court said it. The justice minister can come up and spring the law and preach the law in different ways because he feel the majority block and because he has some sympathy with the president, and so be it to him. And we are saying this, I love the response that the speaker gave. And for because if you feel the legal way that you did the legal way of getting speakership, do the thing legal way.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right. Thank you. The former president is navigating the wall. He will have a very special closed-door meeting with the president of Congo Brazzaville, Denis Sassou Nguesso. From there, he is headed to another high-profile country again. He's moving from one country to another, but it's all for Liberia. Though Joseph Boakai people say he must keep his distance from the former president. Go point in Pico, carrying him from one end to another. What a shame. What a shame. Okay, man, that's all the time we've got. Daniel NTSA Mensere can't beat Real Madrid. Daniel, how you been? We going? My team? No, Real Madrid can stand in from my team. They are identical Real Madrid. They can stand in from Man City. We will beat Man City convincingly. Y'all leave here. When I come out tomorrow, when you beat me, I will acknowledge. When I beat you, you don't complain. You don't put any excuse. I beg you, yeah. I adore thing they call Real Madrid. Man City boys. Oh, your Madrid people that you're worrying, you're scared, and us. I think because if they were dropping points, so Madrid can beat us. We'll beat y'all. We'll beat Real Madrid home and away. You can even go to the last Mexican women in the world, Balewula and Nandi Muna. They will not help y'all. We'll beat y'all. Real Madrid, Real Madrid. And y'all say you carry La Liga, you're worrying now at 2 points. It's finished. La Liga finished. When Man City beat you today, Sunday, you get our picking them. That Osasuna, that one only one draw. Because Madrid get 3 points for all. Before we can even reach Madrid, it will be about 10 or 15 points between we and them. Your dog, I see you, man. I see you. I see you. So the holiday wasn't good, man. Yeah, it was a bad holiday. So Man City will give me something to rejoice on a holiday. But from a national standpoint, from a political standpoint, from a social, religious standpoint, everything just bad off. Bad off today. Braga people, then, they happy. The religious people, then, they happy. They muted. That's your business. At least we're talking. And you can be depending on that. Why you can listen to the radio. We're talking. God knows that we're talking. And God with us. And now you're prophesying every day. The only thing you know that to prophesy, you'll be prophesying. When you stand before God, then you'll know. You'll say, if we had known. You sit down, you can talk. Those of you who were condemning we are last 6 years ago, we know some of you, and your Boakai get your position, Bishop Gelly Brown, and you religious advisor to Boakai. You say how your own president embarrassing you. I see y'all, man. Well, we'll meet next let's say tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Okay, I see you. I'm saying, man, the news is on at 6, and then at 8 o'clock tonight will be face the issues.
When someone tells you all FM stations are the same, they haven't been listening. 88